Hey everybody, welcome to another weekly reset. We are starting off on our Paladin here. We got a pretty decent vault. Oh, you can't really see it right now, but I have 3 options. 2 of them are plus 20s, and one of them's a plus 19. So hopefully we get something good. We're set for the protection spec here, trying to get a weapon or something, I guess. I don't know. Let's see what we got. Okay, a neck that we're never going to use, some boots that we're probably definitely taking, and a 3-item level upgrade on chest. Yeah, we're taking the boots. We got some boots and a plus 21 key to start off the week on our pally. Not too bad, not too bad, not too bad. What key do we get? 21 temple. Alright. Alright. Raging storming. Could get a little dangerous with the dark claws, but I don't think it'll be too bad. Let's go check out our robe. Alright, so we are deep into the tier at this point. I still have a 418 weapon, 415 cloak, 418 bracers, which I mean, they're pretty good, so it's not big of a deal. But 415 belt and 415 boots. So I'm hoping for either a Whispering Incarnate icon, a 424 dagger, or a 421 slot to go into any of my 415 slots. Gonna make sure my loot spec is set to subtlety. Let's see what my pre-options are. You can't really see again, but I have, I think, 1 Mythic Raid Vault and 3 plus 20 Mythic Dungeon Vaults. So let's see what we can get. This is a joke, right? Come on. We can't take any of these. Look at this. We have 424. We got 3 pairs of shoulders. What is this? 3 pairs of shoulders and bracers with crit haste? No way. Oh, this has to be the worst vault I've had so far. Like, I already have these shoulders. I got them from vault many moons ago. This is another token vault. Oh, man. That's unfortunate. 24 Halls of Valor as well. Which I guess I need. That'll be like 4 points, so. Oh well. Let's see what our affixes are for the week. Spiteful, Grievous, Fortified, Thundering. This is actually a pretty good push week. Oh wait, no, that's not it. This is a push week. It's still a push week. Raging, Storming, Tyrannical, Thundering. So let's go over to our Mythic Dungeon tier list maker and get this all sorted out. Alright, so let's look at our tier list. We have Raging, Storming, Tyranical, right? Yeah, Raging, Storming, Tyranical. So, Raging, Storming. Storming's a non-affix for the most part. Raging only affects the tank for the most part. There are some exceptions to that. Shadow Moon Battlegrounds doesn't really have any of those exceptions. There's the spiders, which deal group damage, but you can just kick their casts. So it's not really that big of a deal. Same thing with the bats, you can stop their casts. Then let's go to Court of Stars. Raging Court of Stars is a bigger issue than it is in Shadow Moon, but I'd still put it in like an A+, S- tier if S- existed or something like that. And the reason is you have Imakacha and the Impending Doom I-Beam mini-boss guy, that those will enrage, and you know, they deal decent amounts of damage with their AoE. So you have to make sure that like you're really on top of that with defensives and heals. Next up, let's go to Ruby Life Pools. Oh, this is a bunk category. Let's delete that. So, Ruby Life Pools. I think that this is probably one of the harder keys this week for Raging, just because the Infernos already do a lot of damage. And when you have, like, on a higher key at least, I'd say that that's probably where most keys are going to fail in Ruby Life Pools, is somewhere in the ring upstairs on the Inferno packs. You know, you get a storming into a living bomb and you're not able to defensive, you're not able to press anything. It happens. Then we have, let's go, Algathar Academy. I think Algathar is still probably one of the harder keys to time on Tyrannical. So, you know, the trash isn't really too bad in here, and you can get through most of it pretty easily. There's not a lot of trash that will actually kill you. The Skitterflies will rage, but they shouldn't really one-shot on Tyrannical anyways. The Ravagers will enrage, but you can line of sight the damage from that. The Foragers will enrage, but you can CC them, and again, they shouldn't really one-shot if you're topped up. Azure Vaults with Storming could be a little bit trickier, especially for your tank. So I want to also put this in like a C+, B- category. And they did just nerf this and give an extra minute and a half to the timer, as well as make some other changes. So I'm going to put it in B tier based off that, because otherwise I would put it in C, but with these nerfs to the dungeon, I think it deserves a bump up in ranking. The issue with storming on Azure Vaults is you have all these, like, even on this icon you see the rings here, you have not a lot of space to move, and the stormings can really mess you up. And on Azure Blade, if you get a storming during the intermission and you get knocked into a ball, you know, there's just a lot of issues to run in with these things. Halls of Valor on Tyranical I think is a lot harder than it is on Fortified, and I'd put it in a C+, B- category. Purja is going to be the biggest barrier for most groups, just getting through the Eye of the Storm, and then Eye of the Storm plus the Storming. You really need somebody to like soak the Stormings before Eye of the Storm starts for your healer, so that way they can make sure they can actually heal through it. Temple of the Jade Serpent is probably going to be the biggest issue for your tank, but you know, if they have good defensives and they get some externals from your healer when they start to rage, the Dark Claws will do a lot of damage while they're raging, and the Haunting Gazes are the same. So very important that, you know, you save your defenses for that if you're tanking, or you know, as you're playing your rogue or whatever, once the things start raging, that's when you want to start kidney shotting the Dark Claws or the Haunting Gazes as well. But we'll get into some tips and tricks later. Naku Defensive on Tyranical, I would also put around the same as Temple of the Jade Serpent. I think that it is a little bit easier of a timer. So if I had to separate these, I would even put Temple down here and Nakud up here. But I think that they're relatively around the same difficulty. The only difference is Nakud is a lot easier of a timer in general. You have a lot more leeway and, you know, a lot more sizable packs you can do to make up time in here safely. So this is my tier list for the weekly dungeons, and now let's get into some tips and tricks. So for Raging, Storming, Tyranical, Thundering, you have a couple of things that you can do as a rogue to help you out. So if you get hit by a Storming tornado and you're playing Subtlety, you can use your Shadow Step to instantly get back to the floor. So when you get hit up, you'll get knocked up, just instant Shadow Step back to your target, and you'll instantly land back on the floor, and you'll be safe. If you're playing Outlaw, you want to be using the grapple hook macro that I have included in the macro video, link in the description, and it's also on my Discord, link in the description for that as well. And where is my grapple hook macro? Right here. So this one, it makes it so that way while you're knocked up or anywhere, whatever, one click will send out your grapple hook. Just one click, you don't have to see the reticle, it'll automatically go to wherever your mouse is. So that's really good for dealing with storming. The other thing you could do is you can cloak the stormings. So if there's a lot of stormings, like, so pretend you're on Herja and the Eye of the Storm is about to start, and there's like 4 tornadoes inside of the Eye of the Storm bubble, you can just cloak and run through all of the stormings to soak them. So that way your team stays safe, you stay safe, you know, everybody's safe. And then as for raging, what you can do as a rogue is use your CCs when the mobs are raging. You know, if you're kidney shotting things while your tank is in cooldowns, and, you know, their damage isn't really doing anything anyways, you're going to be wasting your CC, your utility. So if you wait till the enemies are raging to start throwing out your blinds and your kidneys on attacks that will actually chunk your tank, you're going to get a lot more value out of it. Your tank's going to be a lot happier, a lot healthier, and you're going to have a lot less tank issues. So it's not a lot of tips and tricks. There's not a lot of workaround for these affixes. They're not the most complicated ones either. So it is a lot easier to play around this week. So I really hope that you guys, you know, you get a little bit of benefit out of these, and I hope you guys have a really good week. This is a pretty good push week, so get some IO. You know, get out there, go get some keys done. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.